All right, so we're going to put it back on this chair. And to do this, I'm going to click out of this altogether here. No. Click Q. Get out. There. Change tabs. Escape completely. All right, so what I'm going to do is create a new shape. I'm going to hit F to be in the front view. And I am going to use a plane. I think I'm going to use a plane. No, that wouldn't work for what I want to do. I'm going to use a box. All right, we're going to start with the box. And I'm going to, in the front view, just look at this and draw what I think, and I just kind of move it just to make sure that there's some thickness there before I close it. You know, I do the same movements of a mouse if I could see if I'm going to draw and drag up and click. But if I'm in the front view, I'm still going to draw, move it, and click. Oops. Draw it, move it, and click, right? So it's a thickness. All right, so because I can always go back and now and deal with this size and thickness. It's just a rough situation. So I'm going to go in my top view because I can look down on this. And this is going to work out fine, I do believe. So if I hit move and the snaps toggle, I can just snap it there. And if I need to, then in my scale, I can go like that. It actually might need to be a little bit more. I'll go halfway through. It's intersecting geometry is what this is. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this and convert it to an editable poly. Let me hit P for perspective. Oh, that wouldn't take me there. Okay, I'll do this again. Because I just opened it. So there's that. So the tool I'm going to show you is called a bend tool. All right, so editable poly. Also, these pieces right here we're not going to see. So I'm just going to delete those. I hold Control and Delete. All right, so we're going to do a little opposite extrude. So I'm going to get my edge tool. Whoa, not that selection. The marquee, the rectangular marquee. And I'm getting all of the edges there. And I'm going to use the connect setting. And I'm going to have 2. And not this one. I'm going to go up to about what I would believe that this edge and this edge then would appear to be a piece of wood like this. Right? So something like that. Okay. That's good. And then I'm going to get polygon. Can select this all the way through again. I'm getting both of those. And I'm going to get the extrude button. But we're going to go in. And I'll zoom in here. So this is a piece of wood that is like a panel. Don't do that. That means it's crossing over the wrong way. So I'm going to leave it there. It's kind of thin. That's fine. I'm going to say OK. And then I need to, I need to get rid of these. Guess I'll start here. It doesn't like it when I click there. There it is. Those. All of these here, I'm going to click them and say delete. Delete. There, I said it. Okay, so what I want to do now is bend this, but I cannot bend it if there are no edges to bend. Let me put this here, and I will get the bend tool, the bend modifier, right? So if I, bend it, it can't bend. It can only waffle in on itself. So what we need to do is give it some edges. And again, I'm going to get the edge tool and select this way. Connect. See, it's just the same tools over and over again. I'm going to, I think I had 7. I'm going to type in 7 here. That would do. That would do. I want a piece here in the middle. This can be 0 though, right? So now they're all evenly spaced there. These both should be 0, and then I think 7 is good. So I'm going to say okay there. And now when I go back up, well, let's get out of the Editable Poly. All right, we want to not have the subgroup there. Now when I bend it, okay, now it's just being silly. Let's get it on the right. Now when we bend it, you see it can bend nicely, right? Before having the, you see even just coming here, if it had no edges, it wouldn't be able to bend. Anyway, just trust me on this. We don't need to bend that much though. It doesn't bend that much. It's maybe, I'm going to go in the top view. T for top. And what if we go like an even -35? Yeah, something like that. All right. And I'm going to hit W. Get out of this tool. W to move it. Actually, because the pivot point is in the middle, I'm going to leave it where it kind of is in the middle. I'll adjust it as I go. Okay, so this is what's going to happen next. I'm going to collapse all. Yes, because I like the bend. And now I'm going to go in the left view. And I'm going to rotate this. And now I'm going to move it. And now I'm going to adjust the rotation slightly. That kind of works. I'm going to check it out. So this is nice. It's going into the wood here. And that is believable to me. I might want to scale that a little bit. I think this would be better if it was right at that junction. So if I were to do this with the scale tool now, I'll go in the left view. It's not going to work out too well because you see this wants to go up and down and this is left and right, and we just made this go at a slant. We rotated it. So I want this to scale in that direction. So I'm going to use this. I'm going to see if local will work. Yes, local is the way to go. So I can now scale this a little bit, and you can see now it's going to scale it in the axis that it's sitting. So I'm going to scale it a little bit like this. And then the move tool, I'm also going to say local. Oh, see, I got the snaps on. I'll move that. I'm going to make sure it's kind of sitting there. Move it down a little bit. I think it has a little top to it, like that. So I think we're good. If I wanted to, okay, there's a couple of ways I could go about it. I could move this pivot point down to the bottom and then I could scale it so it's up and down. But I think what I'm going to do is something a little simpler. I'm going to get this polygon tool. I'm going to click this, hold shift and click that, and you get the whole row. And then I'm going to say grow once and grow twice. And that grew it once and then twice. So I have that selection. And this too, I will say local. And now I can pull this up and be a little bit more accurate as to where I want this to end. All right, so there's that. Okay, so the only thing we really need to do with this is unwrap it. So let's do that. I'm just going to hit the unwrap, and here's the only trip about this. We're looking at it straight on, and there are some other pieces here. So if I'm in the polygon, I'm going to select these. Yeah, okay. Wow, it went all the way up there like that. Let's see what it's doing here. Interesting. Okay, I'm not going to do it like that. I'm just going to go ahead and flatten this, just like just like we started the other one. Okay, hold on. All right, so we have all these pieces. That needs to be broken apart as well, or at least unwrapped. There we go. All right, but the problem is I don't like this curvy bit. That's the issue I have with this. So we're going to need to fix these curvy bits. And I think the best way to fix these curvy bits is going to be to do it all at the same time. All right, and what I mean by that is I'm going to click on this element, and I'm going to take this and put it right on top of here. And I'm going to get my vertex mode. And I'm going to get out of this element mode. I'm going to click all of the vertices. I'm holding control on one side. It's not too many, it's okay. And there are these buttons here. So if I wanted it to be horizontal along the, flat across the horizontal, I click here. And then what it does is it averages out the position. I'm just going to pull this down a little bit. Oops. On both of them. Okay, so I'm going to now easily select these and do the same thing. And I'm going to just put this down here a little bit. Okay, I'm going to leave that slanting in because that's more or less the shape of what they are. So I'm not going to worry too much about that. But I did want them to go more horizontal for the grain of the wood. Again, I'm going to get the element. I'm going to select all these. Oh, such a process. And click this because it's clickable like that. All right, so I'm going to stack these like this. Right? And now I'm going to get out of this element mode, and I'm only going to select the ones on the bottom, holding control. Oh, the laborious task. That's all right, I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to flatten that. And while I have it selected is the best time to move it. Oh, it looks like I didn't get somebody here. I'll just put it there. Close enough. And I'm going to grab these. Flatten those. Again, not worried about the difference there. It's all going to be okay. Okay, so what we have here is the wood grain direction. So in this area, the wood grain would be going up and down, and these are going to hold it, and the wood grain is going to go this long ways. So I want to make sure I'm determining which is which. So I believe all of these, including the insides. All right, and this, okay, so all of those. Also, hold control and get those. All right, so all of these need to go the same direction. Just making sure I got everything. I'm just going to push these over here. I could stack these. They would be all the same piece of wood. They would all look the same. What this is I should stitch them back together. All right, let's start here. Let's start here, actually. this is what we'll do. We're starting here. Edge tool, not this. I want to make sure. Okay, yeah. This side. Stitch. Stitch. Okay, that would be that, that, top, that, the bottom. Okay. We're good. I do believe we got it all. Yep. Okay, so let's start here then. Double click. Actually, I need to give some room here. All right. Stitch. Whoa. That was weird. Okay. Stitch. No. Oh, because that's going the wrong direction. See, that's going the other way. We want to go this side. Okay, let's do that again. This side. There we are. Silly me. Okay, so now we have these two things. And they can sit on top of each other there. And I'm going to grab them both and relax. And there we are. Okay. And they need to flip this way. And I'll show you in a minute. We'll attach this and it'll be there. I'm going to set these down here. Okay, so now these things can stack on top of each other as well. I'm going to give them a quick relax. Good enough. One's going to be a little bit bigger than the other because it's bending on the inside. I think what I'll do is average them in the center. Okay, good enough. And this is the proper direction I want for this. All right, so we have this, and I'm going to go ahead and collapse it. And bring in our UV map. So I'm going to attach it to here and say okay. So now in this case, we don't really need to go out to Photoshop to do anything. Actually, I need my Unwrap back. We can just now move our UVs to where we need to go. So let's do this first. I'm going to click on this chair because I want this to be a part of this chair. I don't want this to be its own thing. That would be another map, right? We don't need to do that. So with this chair, click on Editable Poly. Yes. Make sure our Preserve UVs is on. And get Attach. And click on that. And now we can open this Unwrap. I don't need a turbo smooth on that though. I think what we'll do with this turbo, well, that's not going to work either. Yes. Let's see, smoothing groups. Okay, that'll work. As long as this chair here is all one smoothing group, this will be fine. We could put edge loops on here too, and we should. Let's go ahead and get it situated within our UVW space here, and then we'll attend to our grouping. Okay, so this, I'm going to have it sit on top of this one here, I think. So I'm going to get my scale. I'm looking at the width of it. And I'll put it like that. And then this. All right, so if this is a tiling texture, we could even cut this in half, which is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to, I think Turbo Smooth made this be the middle. All right, I'm just going to cut it. Let's turn off Turbo Smooth. And the reason I'm doing this is so that I can fit more pixels in here. Than it would be otherwise. So, for example, if I wanted to, I could take this whole thing, scale it out from the corner here. If I did this, right, I could put all of that in there where I couldn't do that all the way across because we have this black hair, right? So that allows me to do that. Just kind of line that up better. So here's the trip with this. I'm going to go ahead and offset this. I'm going to offset it twice though. -2. Right, so that's over there. Oh, I guess that didn't stay. I am going to anchor this one to the lower right. I pull that down to about there. And this too, I am going to get the move tool. Minus, I think this one, I might need to say -3. -3. Oops. Come on. -3. No, it's not going to let me. Oh, I need to be in here. -3. There we go. All right, so these are all offset. And here's our chair. Now it's a little, this little anomaly here keeps showing up, but in your texture class we would deal with that. I would go in here and I could still do it. You know what it is? It's right even on itself here and here. I would take the rubber stamp tool and stamp this out so that wouldn't show up so obviously. And make nicer wood there. We could swap that wood out. All right, so anyway, that's how that would go down. And turbo smooth this, and what would I need to do there is get the, yes, oh, that didn't work there. Doggone it. There we go. I'm going to go back and click on Turbo Smooth. And, well, actually, no, I'm not going to go there. I'm going to just click on it and delete it. Yes, delete. Good. Okay, now I'm going to collapse this. Yes. All right, now I can put, well, what I want to do now is put a couple edge loops on here. So I'll get my edges and let's get my modeling Swift loop and throw some edge loops on here. So here and cut it out. Okay, well we do, no we don't. We don't need one there. Swift loop. Oh, it's only gonna let me get so close. There, there, right there. There. Dang, it looks like I lost one right here too. Yeah, we need the inside of there. Okay, so, you know, same routine here. Everywhere we want to hold the edge, we need to give ourselves a edge loop to hold it. High poly hard surface modeling. I think that's it. New. Denied. All right. So now it doesn't matter if we have smoothing groups on here or not. In fact, oops. Right click to get out of that. Okay, I'm going to click on this and even clear all and give it one smoothing group, because when we turbo smooth this now, oh, look at this nice chair. Oh, we've got some weird stretching issues there with the UV map. So I'm going to go ahead and put a UV map modifier on here and see what's going on with that. And that is with this. So I'm going to go ahead and just relax that. Whoa. All right. Stop, relax there. You can see that if I were to turn on this this map here, right, and then we were to let's see, we would go that tile I was telling you about. So because it's going across here, you see, that's what the images we're seeing. We're seeing this crazy. All right, I'm going to rotate this. And I guess I need to shrink it. See, I would break this if I were to cut this. If I were to cut this in half, again, like collapse the, I would need to collapse the turbo smooth and cut it in half again. A better situation, a better thing would be if I had this map go all the way across, so I wouldn't have to worry about this. Then I could just, you know, make it big and it would go all the way across. But this will work. I'm just going to put it here, and here we can turn off our tiles. You see, put it up there. That's fine. And these didn't, they need to stay offset as well. I could put this up here too. I could say 1. And it would just put it up there. And that would be fine. It's, you know, out of the way. All right. So I'm just gonna, I don't want to collapse all this. So I'm gonna save this. Save as my chair height 2, maybe 3. Or back, because it's the chair. No, chair back, chair high back. I'll save that, and then I can collapse all. Yes, and save this as, chair high. I'm going to say chair collapsed high. Save. Oh, and it's a mesh. So we'll just change that back to I can just say editable poly. It's fine. Alright, that's not horrible. Oh, that's picking up that part of the map. Okay. It's always something. I just need to pull it away from here. Let's just go ahead and I'm just going to take this and pull it down because there's that little spot that I tried to make it have the end cap, you know. Right, that'll work. Alright, there we go. I could probably pull it, you know what though? Let me undo that collapse. Pull it down a little bit more. Because these little crazy anomalies won't be so noticeable. Oh yeah, okay. Collapse all. There we go. Alright, let's look. I'm going to, not that. Not that either. Alright, where it says orthographic, except I'm going to make it perspective. And we want show safe frames. So this is what, you know, our camera is actually looking at. So I'm going to go right here. I'm holding Control and Alt to get a smoother zoom as opposed to that incremental zoom you get from the middle mouse button. I'm holding down the middle mouse button though, and that's what I'm using to zoom, but I'm holding Alt and Control. Okay, let's take a picture. That looks kind of cool, but I want to get closer. Oh, look at that. Let's get a little closer. Wow, doesn't that look like a real chair? It's kind of cool. So if you know how the chairs are built, you know, and I really don't. I'm just kind of going by all the IKEA furniture I've purchased over the years. So, you know, this is how it would be there. You would have like that veneered particle board thin so it could kind of curve. Alright, let's put cushions. Lastly, real quick here. Top view, I'm going to go there and I'm going to create a box, and in the top view I can kind of get an idea how big this is. I'm not going to go that way. And again, I'm just moving it to get a thickness because I know I can adjust it. Front view. And if everything is snapping to the center, it makes it really handy. So I'm going to just get the X and snap this there. And then undo the snap. So cushions aren't, you know, right exactly on there because they have to fit in there. So I'm going to get kind of close. I can get a little closer because when we put the turbo smooth on here, it's going to make it a little smaller. We'll see. We can adjust. And same here. So there's that. And that looks about the right size of the cushion. I'm going to go ahead and make this a editable poly so I can get a hold of the vertices and move that down a little bit. Go to my left view. Move these in. And I'm going to line this up to this edge. Sorry there, I was thinking about how I would do this. That's fine. Actually, I think I'm going to line this up. No, that's fine. I'm going to rotate this. Okay, and move tool, and good, we're in local still. Handy, handy. Push this back. And with these vertices, go ahead and pull those back. Now I might want to go into the wireframe at this point so that we can get a little bit of the same angle here. I'm going to get my edges. I'm going to just select through just to make sure I select. Wait, you don't want that. I'm selecting all the way through. Connect. I'm going to get 2. Separate them up to about there. Okay. And I'm doing this way because I want it to be roughly the same, or at least easy for me to adjust. There. Okay. And then this way. That's about right, so I'll just say okay. Alright. So now when we put the turbo smooth on here, let's get out of this wireframe for a second. We have like a cushion. Right on. That was quick. Cushions should be quick. It's just, you know, doing this. I'm going to make a copy of this cushion. I'm going to hold on the Z and shift up. Say OK. And I'm going to rotate this. I'm going to get the snaps tool and snap it in 180. You can see above here because it's not a sub-object that we get the numbers right here. And now I'm going to just line this up so this is straight here, because that would be nearly our cushion, right? Let's put that in here. We might adjust that a little bit. Let's get our vertex. Just going to push them up just a little bit. And then I can grab these. All right. I don't even remember if that's what our chair looks like anymore, but is that what our chair looks like? Kinda. Kinda. Oh, their cushion goes up a little higher. Oh, okay. Oh, and they don't have it. It's a little rounder. That's fine. Oh, we need to curve this a little bit too. So let's grab it. Now we're going to have to go ahead and collapse this turbo smooth because we can use the edges here. Or I can grab all of those, connect, bring this back to 0, say OK. That's better. All right, let's throw a bend on there. Not that way. I think we have to go negative, right? See, I don't want it to bend too much of the front. This will work. You know, it would be, we might put like a little bit more of a modifier on here that would soften it and make it like a noise modifier to have it be a little crumply. Oh, I don't want there. But that'll work. Also, this is a little bit rounder, so oh, I can hardly see this. I bet you can't see it either. There we go. I'm going to isolate it because these edges I am going to move up. or further away from the edges that they are holding, because that will give us a softer, more pillowy, rounded. Although, see, this is a problem. Left. Let's get our vertices. I'm just going to select these and pull them back down. All right. There, now you see it's a little bit more rounded. If we show end result and go to our, if we go to our Editable Poly and show end result, then we can get this cage. And we can adjust how round that would be. You see how it's getting rounder in the corners. All right. Anyway, that's our chair. This will unisolate our chair. Let's give it a nice limey green, shall we? Ooh, that one. All right, looks like vinyl. Don't sit on it. All right, so anyway, this is our chair. And basically we learned a lot of things about edge loops and extruding. Moving vertices. Moving edges. Unwrapping. We learned a lot. How to do the reference. Get out of there. Okay, there we go. Think these. Oh, I'm just going to do it again. I need to lift this up a little bit. There we go. Curses. All right, chair. Perspective, chair. There's our chair. So after when you have texture class and you can add a like a texture there, we could put something on there, but I just want to move on to the next thing. So here's that chair. Okay, cool.